global insurance industry helps their customers by fixing what is broken. But in that process, there's a sizable carbon footprint, for example in repairs of insured cars and properties. Claims Carbon is on a mission to support the global insurance industry in reaching net zero emissions in 2040. They help decarbonizing insurance by analyzing the carbon footprint in the entire insurance value chain and determining reductions opportunities. Next on stage, Claims Carbon.
Thank you, DIA, for hosting this fantastic conference, and thank you all for being here for the last presentation of today. Now it's really important that you pay attention, because now we are both saving the world and improving your financials at the same time. So, good news. I'm Rune. This is Carol. We are from Claims Carbon Institute, based in Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Poland. And we help insurers improve their carbon footprint, calculate it, and also how to improve it. So if you take a step back and look at the carbon emissions from an insurance company, that's the own operations, how much paper you use, how much electricity you use. A lot of companies have quite good calculations for that. Then the second part would be the investment portfolio, whether you invest in coal mining or windcraft mills, affects the carbon emissions quite a lot. And then the third part, which is also a huge part of the, maybe 40% of the emissions from an insurance company, is about the claims. So whether you use a used car part or a new car part, or you repair it when you're making a repair, that dramatically affects the carbon footprint of the company. If we now move over to looking at the real application, what we need as data sources into this is extracted from the claims system of the company. So either by API integrations or by data dumps over to our system. Based on this, we connect with external databases for emission factors and come up with the overview of the emissions in your company and how that improves over time, which makes it possible for you to set targets on how to improve it and follow up on those targets. And we also give insight into what you should think about in order to improve those factors. We also calculate the cost of being carbon neutral at different times, given the carbon cost that you have. And this also follows the standard reporting levels. Example, you have IBNR for financials, and you also have IBNR for carbon claims. So this is a really useful tool for the ESG department and the CFO when communicating to the board, and externally and internally about the target setting. But the real good discussions are when we move down to the more operational things. So it's possible to drill down to different products. It's possible to drill down to different product lines, type of cars, etc. The data that we are showing here is an example, anonymized data from one of the largest insurers in the Nordics for their motor portfolio. And we both see how it relates to different types of car, but also different types of claims, type of repairs. If we then move over to thinking about what kind of insight, actionable insight this provides, for this specific case, we made a simulation about if they change the policies so that they make more repairs instead of replacing with new car parts and implementing that in their terms and conditions, that simulation shows that it would give an immediate 3% improvement in the carbon footprint of that company. And we can also drill that down and get more insight, for example, on the different car brands. So in this example, you see that it would have a larger impact on Mercedes. This might have to do with the availability of used car parts, or it can have impact on the agreements that you might have with white label agreements with car providers, for example. You can also do similar things when sourcing what vendors you use and involving the analyzing how environmentally friendly the different vendors are, and making decisions on where to source the repairs based on this. It's also possible to involve the customers in this, both when doing the claims processes. You can involve the customers in making choices about either getting a new car part or a used one. In some countries, especially Norway, less in Sweden, the customers are trained to always want a new car part, because that's kind of how the car industry has set requirements to the insurance industry in order to get the agreements in place. Well, with these tools, you can have the ESG-oriented customers involved, and you can save cost and at the same time improve the ESG footprint. Another example is carbon neutral insurances. What is the cost of that? Would you have to pay 3%, 5%, 7% more? That would depend on the type of car, the type of property, the claims frequency. And then you can have a kind of a third-party approved stamp of this is the correct extra cost for you as a customer if you want a carbon neutral insurance. We really believe that this is important for you guys, not only from saving a global world perspective, but also for standing out in the market and making more money. We think it's quite easy to get going. The amount of data that we need in order to start this calculation is quite low and achievable. And an effect of that will also be the good discussions that you will have, an understanding of what more data you need to integrate in order to have meaningful discussions with the customers, with the product managers, with the different vendors. So please reach out to us either at our booth after this presentation, or if you need to hurry home, have a really safe journey, and reach out to us when you get home, because we really want to engage with you guys. Thanks a lot, and remember also to vote for us.